Have you ever wondered why a single sentence from your own mouth can ruin a day, ruin an opportunity, ruin a relationship, and sometimes ruin an entire life? You've stood in the middle of an invisible storm where no one outside is accusing you yet. Inside your mind, those familiar lines echo like chains dragging you down. I know already. That's just who I am. It's not my fault. I don't care what anyone thinks. And you feel as if you're standing at the edge of a cliff, one step away from falling, but somehow you are the one giving yourself that small push. Here's the brutal but liberating truth. Life is not destroyed by the outside world. It is destroyed by the things we tell ourselves, the things we believe are harmless, but aren't. Stoicism teaches the person who hurts you is the one you allow into your mind. Epictetus. But sometimes that person is you. Those familiar sentences repeated day after day slowly erode your strength, your clarity, and your inner peace without you even noticing. Today we will dive straight into 8 sentences, 8 mental poisons that most people use unconsciously every single day. And more importantly, not just to help you recognize them, but to help you dismantle every chain that's been holding you down. This video isn't for inspiration. This video is a doorway, a shift in the way you think, a sharpening of your awareness, a deepening of your emotional mastery in the way of a Stoic understands it. If you're ready to step through that doorway, then we begin. Sentence number 1. I know everything. There are moments when you're sitting in a familiar room, warm yellow light spilling across the table, and inside you, there's a whisper, I know this already. I've got this. You nod even before listening. You draw conclusions before observing. You affirm something even though a faint tremor stirs inside the tremor of someone afraid to admit they don't know. It's like standing on top of a small hill, and because the fog blocks your sight, believing you're already at the peak of the world, a mix of confidence and insecurity, but you still pretend you figured it all out. Deep inside, something hesitates, a hollow feeling, but you ignore it, because admitting you don't know feels like losing a layer of armor. Stoicism reveals a brutal but profoundly liberating truth. The less a person knows, the more they think they know. The more a person knows, the more they realize how little they know. This is the principle of awareness. Wisdom isn't about how much you know, but about how much space you leave open for what you don't know. The moment you say, I already know, your mind slams shut like a falling gate. No curiosity, no observation, no capacity to learn. Stoics view intellectual humility as a form of strength. It doesn't make you smaller, it makes you deeper. Because the one who dares to say, I don't know yet, it is someone who has already defeated their ego, a battle most people never win. Socrates. I know that I know nothing. Simple words, but the declaration of a great mind. Step 1, pause. When you feel the urge to declare something, stop for 2 seconds. Those 2 seconds are the brakes of the ego. Step 2, observe, ask yourself, is there something here I haven't seen yet? Is there a perspective I'm ignoring? Step 3, choose instead of asserting. Choose openness. This is what I know so far, but I'm still learning. This is not just language, it is a state of mind. At work, a colleague suggests an idea you think is ridiculous, but instead of shutting it down, you ask, what makes you think this could work? A new angle appears. In family, someone points out a mistake you made. Rather than reacting, you say, let me check again. The atmosphere softens and you grow. On social media, instead of jumping into arguments with, I know already, ask, is there any other evidence? You rise above the reactive crowd. This is how the wise stay sharp. They keep the mind soft. But this is only the first door. What comes next is even more ruthless because it doesn't just hold you back, it freezes your entire life. Sentence number 2. That's just who I am. There are mornings when you look at yourself in the mirror, eyes slightly swollen, mind buzzing with noise, and a thought slips in. That's just how I am. Maybe it's after you snapped at someone you love. Maybe it's when you procrastinated on another deadline. Maybe it's when someone offered feedback and you felt that little sting, followed by the quiet whisper, what can I do? I'm born this way. It's like wearing a soft chain, not painful but restrictive. It holds you in place, locking you inside an old version of yourself, a version you are tired of but convince yourself you cannot change. What you don't realize is this sentence is not a description, it's a self-imposed sentence. Stoicism teaches a sharp truth. Humans are not born with fixed personalities. We are born with the ability to train. That's just who I am is the sentence that protects your bad habits, justifies your stagnation, confuses identity with repeated behavior. Stoics see this phrase as a subtle surrender to the ego, because it turns behaviors you could change into destiny. It turns effort into something unnecessary. It turns you from the author of your life into a spectator, watching your life moving in the wrong direction. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, and from that, your whole life. If the mind can change, so can you." Epictetus, it's not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. And the sentence "that's just who I am" is an interpretation, a distorted one of who you really are. 4. 3 immediate practices. Step 1, acknowledge. Whenever this sentence appears in your mind, pause and admit, this is not my nature. This is a habit. Step 2, reframe, replace it with, I have this habit, and habits can change. Step 3, act small. Action, choose one tiny action to shift the pattern. Pause, 3 seconds before reacting in anger. Set your alarm 5 minutes earlier. Answer an email now instead of delaying. Prepare ahead instead of waiting for the deadline. You only need 1% difference, and a chain of 1% changes creates a new person. 5. Real-life examples in family. Instead of saying, I'm hot-tempered, deal with it, you take one slow breath and respond softer. No one wins, but peace returns. At work, instead of missing deadlines and claiming I've always been like this, you move your reminder earlier. You start building new trust. In self-discipline, instead of skipping your workout and saying, I'm not consistent, you walk for 5 minutes. And that's enough to shift your trajectory. People don't fall into deep holes because of one big mistake. They fall because of small steps taken repeatedly, in the wrong direction. Likewise, people grow from small steps taken consistently in the right direction. But if this sentence only keeps you stuck, the next one can make you lose the very people you care about most. Sentence number 3. No offense, but there are moments when you're talking to someone, everything feels calm, and suddenly a sharp thought appears in your mind. You want to say it. You know it's a little harsh, a little sharp, maybe even dangerous. But you soothe yourself with 4 words, no offense, but the moment you say that, you're like someone holding a knife while convincing yourself, I'm only going to tap them lightly. But deep down, you know, what you're about to say will hurt them. You're trying to protect yourself from responsibility. You're putting a moral mask on something abrasive. There are sentences that haven't even left your lips, but you can already feel the weight of them, like watching a bow drawn tight, just waiting for the string to snap. And once the arrow is released, it never returns to where it came from. Stoicism teaches truth must never be separated from kindness. No offense, but doesn't soften the blow. If anything, it reveals that you already know your words will wound and you're trying to dodge accountability. Stoics see this as a subtle form of self-deception. You know words have force. You know they can create cracks. Yet you speak as if you are innocent. The reality is, how you say something matters as much as what you say. Tone matters as much as truth. Timing matters as much as intention. A correct statement delivered at the wrong time in the wrong tone with the wrong energy becomes a blade. Stoics never forbid honesty, but they reject cruelty disguised as honesty. Seneca, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. If your words contain no kindness, they are no longer truth, they are weapons. Or 3 immediate practices. Step 1, pause. The moment you're about to say no offense, but stop. It's a warning sign that you're preparing to cause pain. Step 2, observe. Ask yourself, am I saying this to help them or to release my emotions? Is this the right moment? Do I want to be understood or do I want to win? Step 3, choose. Choose a way of speaking that keeps the truth but doesn't crush the other person. I have a different perspective. Want to hear it? This is a bit sensitive, so I'll say it gently. Can I share this with you privately? Honesty doesn't require cruelty. Truth doesn't need sharp edges. 5 real-life examples, family instead of no offense. But you're terrible at communicating. You say, let's work together on communicating better. Workplace instead of no offense, but this draft is awful, you say. There are a few points we could strengthen. Friends, instead of no offense, but that outfit looks bad, you say. I think there's another outfit that suits you better. The result? The truth is still spoken. The relationship remains intact. And you don't turn truth into a weapon. But there is a sentence even more dangerous than this, because the person saying it genuinely believes they're doing the right thing, while they're quietly destroying every relationship around them. Sentence number 4. I'm just being honest. There are moments when you stand in front of someone, a coworker, a friend, a partner, and you feel a quiet irritation rising inside you. A part of you wants to say everything all at once. Strong, direct, sharp. Inside your mind, that familiar sentence echoes, I'm just being honest. It sounds noble, but if you pause for even 1 second, you'll notice something deeper. You're not speaking to help. You're speaking to unload. You're not speaking to build. You're speaking to win. You're not sharing truth. You're throwing it like a stone. In that moment, you're like someone standing on an old wooden bridge holding a burning torch. You know, if you drop it, the bridge will burn, but you convince yourself it's fine. I'm just lighting the path. That's when chaos disguises itself as honesty. Stoics have an unbreakable rule. Honesty is not saying the truth at any cost. Honesty is saying the truth in a way that does not destroy people. I'm just being honest usually appears when you're avoiding responsibility for the impact of your words. You want to feel morally superior while being tactless. You want to hurt someone, but don't want to be seen as someone who hurts. Stoics see this as confusion between courage and cruelty. Being honest is not throwing raw truth in someone's face. Being honest means choosing the right moment, the right tone, the right delivery, so the truth can be received instead of rejected. People who say this sentence often believe they're right. What they're missing is emotional intelligence. Marcus Aurelius, speak the truth, but speak it with kindness. This is the standard of the strong, not the impulsive. 4. 3 immediate practices. Step 1, pause before saying, I'm just being honest. Stop. Feel whether you're speaking out of selfishness or genuine care. Step 2, reframe. Ask yourself, what will this sentence create? Will it build or break? Will it heal or harm? Step 3, act. Choose a form of honesty that doesn't wound. I have some feedback. Would you like to hear it? Can we talk about this privately? What I'm about to say may be hard to hear, but I want to help, not hurt you. Truth should be delivered with an open hand, not a clenched fist. At work, instead of telling the whole room, this report is terrible, I'm just being honest, you say privately, there are a few areas we can improve. Let's discuss it. In love, instead of, you look bad in that outfit, I'm just being honest. You say, I think another outfit suits you better. In family, instead of you disappointed, I'm just being honest. You say, there's something I'm worried about. Let's talk gently. Truth is medicine, but medicine only heals if delivered properly. But if this sentence can hurt others, the next one is even more dangerous because it steals away your ability to grow. Sentence number 5, it's not my fault. There are days when you look at your life the way you look at an old film, a rapid montage of failures, missed chances, things slipping out of your hands. And then a familiar voice rises inside you. It's not my fault. Not my fault the project collapsed. Not my fault the relationship fell apart. Not my fault life is so hard. For a moment you feel relieved, as if a heavy stone has rolled off your chest. But right after that, a strange emptiness appears. A sense of weakness. A disconnect from your own life. You stand in a dim room with light seeping through a small window. You want to step forward, but your hand is gripping a chain. You can't see the chain of blame. Every time you say, it's not my fault, that chain tightens, preventing you from moving no matter how much you crave change. Man. Stoics reveal a brutal truth. When you reject responsibility, you also reject your own power. It's not my fault sounds harmless, but it turns you into a victim of circumstance, erodes your capacity to grow, transforms you into someone who watches life shift without being able to intervene. Epictetus divided life into 2 realms, what is within your control and what is not. But here's what most people miss. Your reaction to any situation is always within your control. Responsibility is not about accepting blame. Responsibility is about reclaiming power. When you say, "It's not my fault," you don't lose face, you lose your life. So, Epictetus, it's not what happens to you that harms you, but how you react to it. For 3 immediate practices, step 1, pause. When your mind wants to fire off, "It's not my fault," stop for 2 seconds. This is the moment you retake the wheel. Step 2, acknowledge. Ask yourself, what part of this could I have done differently? Not 100%, just 1%. Step 3, choose replace blame with power. What can I learn from this? How will I adjust next time? I can't control what happened, but I can control my response. That's how you reclaim the steering wheel of your life. Work, you're criticized for being late. Instead of blaming traffic, you say, "I'll leave 10 minutes earlier next time." Trust increases, your image improves. Love, during an argument, instead of "I got angry because of you," you say, "I need to manage my emotions better." The conversation shifts toward healing. Self-discipline, you skip a workout. Instead of "I was busy," you say, "I prioritized the wrong thing." Tomorrow you show up stronger. You can't change what has already happened, but you can change the person facing it. That is Stoic freedom. But if you think blame is dangerous, wait for the next sentence where the ego turns insecurity into armor and calls it confidence. Sentence number 6. I don't care what people think. There are moments when you say this sentence loudly and decisively, "I don't care what people think." It sounds like the roar of a warrior, but inside a very different story is unfolding. You check your messages every 5 minutes. You notice who liked your post and who unfollowed you. You remember every annoyed glance in a meeting. You tell yourself you're strong, yet your heart beats faster when someone criticizes you. You stand in a crowded street when hitting your face, and you shout to the world that you don't care. But what you fail to see is this: people who truly don't care don't need to say it, but you declare it loudly to hide a quiet fear, the fear of not being accepted. You're wearing a metal suit of armor, heavy, rigid, but inside is a heart struggling to breathe. Stoicism teaches a sharp distinction. You don't need to care about everyone's opinions. You just need to care about the right ones. The person who says, "I don't care what anyone thinks," is living in an illusion. They think it's strength, but it's actually avoidance. A tall wall built so no one can touch their insecurities. Stoicism doesn't teach you to be numb. It teaches you to be selective. Listen only to people who live with virtue, understand you, want you to grow. As for the noise outside, it's only wind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You don't need to avoid the crowd. You only need to keep your mind from belonging to the crowd." That is real autonomy. Marcus Aurelius, if you seek the praise of others, you make yourself their prisoner. For 3 immediate practices, step 1, pause. When you feel the urge to say, "I don't care what people think," stop. This sentence usually comes out when you deeply care. Step 2, observe. Ask yourself, whose opinion is this? Are they someone worth listening to? Do they live a life I aspire to? Step 3, choose. Choose weighted silence, no defending, no explaining, no proving. You simply keep the peace inside you while the world outside makes as much noise as it wants. That is true not caring. Social media. Someone criticizes you. You want to respond, but you remember they don't know you, they don't live your life. You let it drift away. Family. A chronically negative relative criticizes again. You take in 5% leave, 95% to the wind. Workplace, a coworker nitpicks everything. You focus on your work and let results speak. You don't ignore all opinions. You filter them. That is the strength Stoicism talks about. But if this sentence is just an empty armor, then the final one is the real prison, the one where your ego refuses to let you admit the very thing you need most to grow. Sentence number 7. I'm never wrong, or I knew it. I was right from the start. There are moments like this. You're standing in the middle of an argument. Your palms are sweating. Your heart is racing. And a part of you knows you miscalculated, you misspoke, or you simply made the wrong choice. But instead of saying, "I was wrong," you build an invisible wall. No, I'm right. I've never been wrong. You start twisting the story to protect yourself, blaming circumstances, justifying decisions, bending your own memory so reality fits your ego. Like a captain steering his ship straight into the rocks, but still smiling and saying, "We're going the right way." You hear something crack inside, but you ignore it. Because admitting a mistake feels like admitting you're not perfect. And the ego hates that more than anything. Stoicism sees the refusal to admit mistakes as the root of personal decay. For one simple reason, if you don't admit you're wrong, you can't fix it. If you can't fix it, you can't grow. If you don't grow, you repeat yourself forever. This is the cruelest punishment, being trapped inside the worst version of yourself just because your ego won't let you say one simple sentence, "I was wrong." The person who can admit mistakes is not weak. They are someone who has conquered the hardest battlefield in life, their own ego. Stoicism sees mistakes like shards of broken glass and pick them up correctly, and they reflect wisdom. Press them deeper and you only make yourself bleed. Marcus Aurelius. If someone can prove you wrong, accept it. Seek the truth, no one is harmed by it. Step 1, pause. When someone gives you feedback, don't defend yourself instantly. That's the ego speaking, not wisdom. Step 2, observe. Ask yourself, in this situation, which part did I do incorrectly? Even 1% ownership is a 1% upgrade to your character. Step 3, choose the sentence that frees you from your ego. Yeah, that one's on me. Thanks for pointing it out. Let me fix that. These 3 small sentences, soft but heavy, move you farther than most people by light years. 9. Work you lead a project off track. Instead of blaming timelines or your team, you say, "I misjudged this part." The team trusts you more. Relationships, you overreact. Instead of justifying it, you say, "I responded poorly." Healing begins instantly. Self-growth. You repeat an old mistake. Instead of protecting your ego, you say, "I need to fix this habit." Your life's trajectory shifts. Admitting you're wrong is the key. Refusing to admit it is the prison. And when these 7 sentences are lined up, you see the terrifying truth. It's not the world holding you back, it's your own ego. Now it's time for the final part, where you reclaim the power you've been giving away. Sentence number 8, "I'll do it later, or maybe another time. I'll get to it eventually." There are nights when you lie in bed staring at the ceiling, listening to your heavy breathing, and a familiar whisper rises in your mind. "I'll do it tomorrow. Later." There's time. The sentence is soft like a breeze, but it slips into your heart like a drop of anesthesia, sweet, warm, comforting, and dangerously seductive. It makes you skip the workout you promised yourself. It stops you from calling a loved one to apologize, even though you know you should. It makes you shut the laptop instead of finishing the project that could change your life. You think you're just taking a break, but in reality, you're negotiating with your own weakness. You stand at the beginning of a long road, and that whisper tells you gently, you don't need to move. Standing still is fine. But here's the truth you forget. Life doesn't stand still. If you don't move forward, you move backward. Stoics believe delay isn't rest, it's loss of control. When you say, "I'll do it later," your mind is doing 3 things: running away from discomfort, abandoning your future self, handing over your life to a passing emotion. Stoicism doesn't demand speed. Stoicism demands presence. If something is important, you don't have to do it all at once, but you must do a small piece now. Because once you postpone something, once your brain learns, it can postpone twice. And one day you wake up and realize your entire life has been frozen by one tiny sentence. Stoics see procrastination as a silent enemy, not painful at first, but eroding your spirit one small layer at a time. Seneca. While we waste our time hesitating, life is slipping away. Step 1, pause. When the voice says, "I'll do it tomorrow," stop. That's not rational thinking, it's laziness wearing a mask. Step 2, observe. Ask yourself, how will I feel tonight if I skip this? Am I avoiding something? And is this task actually as hard as I'm making it? Step 3, act. You don't need to finish everything, just do the smallest possible step. 1 page of reading, 5 minutes of exercise, 2 lines of an email. 1 message to fix tension, 1 action that moves you forward. Small actions create massive trajectories. Jim, you want to skip, but say I'll go for just 10 minutes. And those 10 minutes save your whole day. Relationships. You think about apologizing tomorrow, but you send the message now. Can we talk for a moment? Small storms dissolve. Work. You feel like delaying the deadline, but you write a single paragraph. Tomorrow's pressure disappears. Career. You want to abandon your plan, but you take 5 minutes to review it. The spark reignites. Later is the beginning of stagnation. Just a little now is the beginning of transformation. And when all 8 sentences come together, you see something chilling. The world isn't destroying you. It's the quiet sentences you whisper to yourself. Now it's time for the final chapter, where you reclaim the power you've been losing for years. You've just heard the 8 sentences that can pull a person downward. But the most important thing isn't how dangerous they are. It's what you choose to do from this moment on. Stoicism doesn't teach you to be perfect. Stoicism teaches you to be aware of what you think, what you say, and what you allow into your mind. Picture yourself as a warrior standing in the middle of a storm. Wind striking your body, thunder rolling in the distance, the ground trembling beneath your feet. And yet you remain unmoved because you understand something most people don't. Strength isn't in controlling the world. Strength is in controlling the voice inside you. Picture a torch burning in the darkness, not because the night is weak, but because the flame is strong. And that flame is the Stoic awareness rising within you. Picture a river carving its way through stone, not because it is forceful, but because it is relentless. That is you when you choose to think better, speak better, and live better one day at a time. Stoic emotional mastery doesn't come from becoming rigid. It comes from mastering yourself in the smallest, quietest moments. You don't need to become a master today, but you can become 1% more awake than you were yesterday. And sometimes, that's enough to change the course of your entire life. If one of the 8 sentences hit you the hardest, leave a comment below. Not to show off, but to remind yourself that you are changing. And if this journey is making you stronger, subscribe to Easy Stoic. Not because we need the numbers, but because there are many more chapters ahead for you and me. Chapters that will help you become deeper, calmer, and truly unshaken. See you in the next video. Stay stoic, stay unshaken.